fine.
I like this video that he did. The video is not related to.
That was a loud one today. Sorry. Just make sure everybody's awake.
She's into that boss thing.
Yeah, you guys had to go for it. Hi, Dorothy. How are you? We have Dorothy. Dorothy picture last week. It was
Can she
wonderful.
get in?
Oh. Carol's looking for you through the door. So
Hi, Dorothy. Oh, good and gracious Father. Thank you for the opportunity to laugh together. It's important, particularly in these times, to sit and just enjoy one another's company, to remind ourselves of the blessings that you have bestowed on each and every one. We ask, Lord, that particularly in this week, you be with us as we remember all that happened 20 years ago as 9/11 approaches, and that you be with those who are still living the repercussions and living without loved ones because of an act of terror. We ask, Lord, that you look out over the Rotary clubs across our district and our region and our country, and that you open our hearts, you open our minds, you open our eyes that we can see and our ears so we can hear, that we might do your word and help to make this world a better place. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, change it up. Join me in the four-way pass.
First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and friendship? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you. So I wanted to start the meeting by saying, please share with Jordan that we miss her. I've been so used to her coming.
Our newest Rotarian went to school.
Yes, I mean, I guess it's a good thing. She should, continue with her
She should have her own
education. But, let her know that Rotary misses her and we would like to have her back. Bonnie, would you introduce your guest with us today, please?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank
you. You've already met Tom. Tom Westfall. Tom grew up in Glendale, but he lives in Duluth, Minnesota. And when he comes back home, we try to spend as much time together as possible. So yesterday I said, I hope you're not busy tomorrow because he has a lot of things going, because you're going to Rotary with me. This is Tom.
Thank you so much, Bonnie, for bringing Tom. Of course, she told you that lunch was involved, so that always makes it a little easier to persuade you. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead. I know we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but we talked about it the week before, the Fall Festival. I would be happy. I unfortunately have to work the Grandview Park Fall Festival, but I would be happy to set our booth up so nobody has to go early. And then if we could get anybody that would want to volunteer just 2 hours for that day, September 25th. I should probably write the date on that. That's very helpful. Just you sign up for whatever day you want. I'm just going to go and pass around. This is still just an option. If we could get enough people, we would love to set up a booth, informational pumpkin for polio. So I've heard something like that. So yeah, we have some ideas. So send that around. Find a pen.
Oh, here.
I have one.
Thank you. And it's labeled Main Street Bay, so you will get that back. All right. So just a quick reminder for our group, Brianna's going to be working on that speaker package for us to present to our speakers when they come present for us. If anybody has any photos or information of any past projects, please feel free to email Brianna or myself, and I'll make sure we get those over to her so we have all that information. Sharon? I was waiting for you. Have no.
Thank you. So we have programs open for all of October, but I want to ask you, St. Clairsville, the guy that's in charge of their flag program volunteered to come here and do a program for us and tell us how they do theirs. Is everybody okay with that?
I would love that.
Okay, so I'm gonna put him in one of those October times.
Love it. Tell him to bring a letter too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really trying to find the letter. If you know, like we're gonna do the flag project starting next spring. And we need to come up with a letter, like an introductory letter.
To the businesses.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
to every
To
people.
personal people, businesses.
Yeah, so
whoever
that we,
would
like
purchase
what we're
the
doing and
flags.
why we're doing it. We're gonna do it in a group. We decided. Matt, all of his, their clients has theirs up right now, so if you haven't seen them, go up through there. That's pretty cool. And the only other thing I have is Rise Against Hunger. We have a meeting set up for next Monday at lunchtime
Okay.
to decide when we want to have it and get the ball rolling on that. So I'll let you know more next week about what we decided. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So just a reminder too, I know Brianna is going to be speaking at the end of the month on September 29th, and she's going to do some DAC-DB training. So I was just thinking if anybody has an iPad or a laptop and wants to bring it along, we could kind of go through DAC-DB together, and then you could actually, I'm a button pusher. I need to actually do it myself to remember. So, and I'll kind of remind us each week until we get there, but if you want to bring your laptop or iPad, then we could all kind of do the training together. I'm gonna put Coop on the spot here and hope that you do not have to present about it, but maybe after our meeting today, you can give me a little more information about this World Polio Day and inviting restaurants to donate a percentage of the profits. Sharon shared a little bit with me, and I obviously wanted to ask her but I wanted to have maybe a formal letter or information or something there. And then I know this is probably way early, so I'll probably have to remind you all like beginning of October, but I do have a conference and I'll be out of town October 13th. So I would love to have somebody step in and take over as president. And I can
do that.
Well, Mike, thank you. I thought this is way ahead, a month ahead.
13, you said?
Yes, and I'll be happy to remind you. Thanks, Mike.
Usually this falls to your PE.
I thought they had to be a president.
Yeah, I thought they had to go to PES
No.
before they were allowed to do that.
No,
I've been president before.
no, that's why you have PE.
We've all been president before.
You could do it either way you want to. You're president, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Well, that'd be good practice.
It's automatic. It falls to your PE.
Oh, lucky Cody.
Yay.
Well, I have 4 in November, so I'm gonna let Mike, since he volunteered, and we'll get you another month there.
That's even good, better if someone volunteers.
I appreciate your help, Mike. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your help to come, Cody. There we go. Thanks, Coop, for filling us in on that. I didn't realize I had so much like rain rolling over here that I could just change things on the fly. Like I thought you had to have all of the rules like at the beginning of the season, so I could just change it up. And
Just
make it for my
Just
favor.
remember, there's no Rotary police.
Except for Mike.
And I don't have any badges either.
There used to be, that's it.
All right, well, I don't want to take too much time because we have a very awesome speaker today. I'm going to turn it over to Sharon to do the introduction and let's have fun. Oh, I apologize. On the fly, I apologize. We did get a really nice thank you note from the FRN. Stacy Dye, unfortunately, was not there when I stopped to drop everything off, but there was a couple other women there that were just so very gracious, and they just said, thank you so much for your incredible donation. Diapers, wipes, baby clothes, and more to support foster and kinship families in Marshall County. Your donation will make a big difference for families going through a transitional time. We appreciate your partnership on this project and for all the great work you do in our community. Thank you very much, the FRN. All right, Sharon, it's all yours now.
Seriously?
Seriously. For real, sit down.
But wait.
Wait, there's more. I am really excited today to introduce our speaker. I've been AG for 2 years this time, and it's a fun district governor to work with, and so far.
Look at that one. She says.
Apparently, I am sitting at the old farts table, is what I was told.
Not mentioning names. But anyway, the district governor tries to get around to all the clubs to visit. But it used to be easier when we were District 7530 because there were only 30 clubs. And now there's what, 55?
54.
54. So that's a whole lot of clubs. So we're really honored that Coop was able to come and visit us today, and not sure what he has in store for us, but I'm sure it'll all be good. So please stand and welcome our District Governor, David Coop.
Yeah, I'm not very good. The first thing, I'm from Tucker County, West Virginia. Who knows where that's at? What's in Tucker County? Okay, good. Because usually I have to say you see people go, Tucker County. So usually I have to say either Blackwater Falls or Canaan Valley. Who's been there? Everybody? Good, because that's where I'm from. That's the county. We had some high water. Did you guys get water down here? Or up here, I should say. I have to think where I'm at. Elevation wise, you're down here. But not too bad.
Start from the hurricane?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good.
Previously, yeah, we got.
Okay. I brought some special pins today and how you can get one of those is if you can get some questions right. Because I like to see what you guys know as well. So, on the international stage, who is our RI president?
Holger. Where's that banner? Daggone it, the banner's not.
I didn't bring the banner on purpose.
Oh, there's a banner behind you.
Where is our banner?
Who knows it? One of the names. His first
No,
name or
it's not
last name?
Holger, that was the last one.
Yeah, Holger was.
Oh, it's a funny name.
Oh, it's a funny name.
Is it a lady from India?
No. It's a guy.
All right, we'll go on to another question.
Well, what is
You're gonna tell us?
It is Shaker Nether, and he is from.
Somewhere in the world.
Who said that?
Sure.
Who said it? I think he said it first.
Josh said.
You want a Rotary, the theme pin for this year, or you want the district pin?
Oh, the district pen's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
What did you
It's got
say?
the-
Well, I'll let you look at them. Maybe you can do it in color. Okay.
Little ridge on there.
Yeah, because I'm actually, I don't have mine on. I have my class pin on. It's really interesting. When Ashley comes for training, she gets support district-wise, and she understands that she's not out here by herself. Because I've noticed one of those projects actually came back with her with the quilt idea. So she actually got something when she went to her pets training and gained some friends, those kind of things. And as a district, that's what we're working on a lot more. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this couple weeks ago, we had a kind of get together. There was no Rotary official business. It was at Stonewall. It was just a chance for people to get out, be with Rotary, so they can bring their families. Because every time I know you guys all have significant others or kids or grandparents, and they don't come with you. So we have actually, district-wide, we've been trying very, very hard to open this up to families, and so families can come to things. That was the first pitch for that. The day before, how many golfers we got in here? A club with no golfers? Jeez, I'm gonna have to write this down. That's impossible. No golfers at all? Woo! I didn't know that was
Mini golf
possible.
count?
Yeah, something like golf, yeah. So there was actually a golf tournament the
About
day
this
before,
one,
so, yeah, that would count. So our next one, it's gonna be around membership, it's gonna be at Stonewall, is going to be in October. And there'll be more information. It was just decided today, that's why we pulled over for the finance meeting. Because that was what the question was, to see if we had district. Because again, remember, when we, through COVID and everything, the district does have finances and we've got to pay our bills, those kind of things. But then there's other things that people have these brainchilds and want to do things. Well, it was never put in the budget. So we have to figure out if there's something we can take from something else, or if the district governor himself or herself has some funds that they get, their money can be used for those projects. So actually what we're going to do is seed it and it'll pay itself back. We found that out. That happened with the Stonewall before. There was a little bit back, so we actually made maybe $500 or $600 for the district for our last conference, because we actually got more people who wanted to come and bring their families. So the idea is to do that. With the theme, international theme, do you know what Shaker Meddar's #1 goal is? It's not, you haven't heard of it before.
Well, that's.
What is his?
Polio plus.
He wants to do one thing. Hey, you guys are mentioning all the programs that he is very much involved with, but what is his #1 message right now? Increase membership, absolutely. We have been sitting at 1.2 million for how many years? A long time. It's been over 10 years. He wants to at least get to 1.3. So with that, for a pin, what is his challenge to us? He has a little byline. Anybody remember what it is? Goes with membership. Close. How does he say that though?
Each one reach one.
Close. One. So that is his goal, because remember, everybody in here knows somebody. That's the key thing. Everybody in here, and that's what he's saying, is everybody wants to talk about membership, but we really, if you take it and put it down on the individual level, how many friends do you know? Can we just not ask one of our friends to come to a Rotary meeting just to see what it is? And that's his goal. His #1 goal right now is to get us off of the 1.2. And as you know, what kind of things are against us, Rotary wise? I mean, it's affecting every club nationally. The pandemic, but why can't membership get off 1.2?
Because as much as we gain and we lose.
Absolutely. We have people who are actually passing away, and then we actually have people who are leaving Rotary. So that attrition is happening just at a greater rapid speed as we are bringing up membership. Anybody know what our district membership is? Remember, we used to be 1. There was a floor. I'll give you a hint. The floor had to be 1,200 for us to keep our district. 1,200.
No.
Close.
2,000.
When we merged, remember the floor, what was the reason we had to merge? Right, we were below our number, so they were below their number. So to be below, we wouldn't be at 24. We're sitting at we're about 119 right now. But remember, the floor is still the same. It's still the 12, but so you think we wouldn't have to worry about membership, but we do. Because again, if we're not bringing the younger ones in, it's only a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. Then, Rotary itself is not going to. And again, that's one of the biggest pushes that Rotary has elevated what club to our level of playing field. Who else in the Rotary family world? I don't want to use its name because that's the answer I'm looking for. Who in the Rotary, just like us, have the same rights as we do as in voting? They can start their own club. They can.
Rotaract.
Right, Rotaract, absolutely. You guys find that astonishing? Rotaract is a 18-year-old they took the limit off of it. That's trying to get college students, those kind of, and again, a lot of places are using their community-based, especially in India. They have found a tremendous foothold at a community base instead of going to a college or a university. But they have the same rights as we do. Right now, there's a little bit of controversy only because they pay less dues. So if they have all the rights and we don't, and then just this last legislation term, they have taken the roof off of it, meaning 18-year-old, and you can still say a Rotaract, you can be 5 years old, you can be 80 years old. It's just like, So what's the benefit of, so that's the controversy right now, is trying to get them, all right, I understand, so why wouldn't you just be a Rotaract then and not a Rotary when you have to pay less dues? So, right, they're trying to, but again, it's Rotary International's thought to get the younger ones involved. I believe they have a plan eventually to switch that over where there is going to be something. Because you cannot have two things running parallel and not meet somewhere along the way. So tell me what's going on here. I see some good things. I know the quilt thing happened. What else is going on?
We just completed a project with the FRN and for foster kids. We donated $350 worth of kid items to them. We currently are working on a couple different projects. So we are trying to put together our flag project, Flags for Heroes. And then
And I'll send you the link because Jordan already sent it to me. I just asked him and he sent me the link. It's right on their webpage that you can get their sheet that they send to business.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you very
See, I
much.
like that.
Send it.
Yeah, we're doing a Rise Against Hunger project at early stages. So we're going to be joining forces with Wheeling and New Martinsville and put that together. I feel like, oh yes, our lending library. So right now we are working with John Marshall High School. Their wood shop is going to build 2 lending libraries. We have a local hardware store that's going to donate the materials for that. And we're going to put one down at the riverfront for the city of Moundsville and one up at Grandview Park.
Very good. What zone are we in?
33. 30.
When I say zone, I'm not district level. I'm talking on the RI level. What zone are we in?
33 or 30.
It's close. Did you hear?
30.
She said 33, 30.
33 or 30.
Oh, 33 or 30.
34.
Picked the wrong one. We're in 33. 33, 34 is our neighboring, and that's most of our conferences that are together. That's why you hear that, and probably why you thought 34 as well, because most of our international zone level meetings, 34 and 33 are together. So it's a little bit, we just gained a little bit of down below Pittsburgh, all the way down to the Bahamas, a little bit of South America. That's 33 and 34. So those are the zones we're attached to. There is one district, or in that area, there is a director. Anybody know who that director is? I need to quit asking these questions, huh? This is a 2-year term, so it's that's why I picked that one. Peter Kyle, he's out of Washington, D.C. area where he is. He has started an initiative, and only 33 and 34 is a part of this program right now, and it's a peace initiative. And we have sent some information out trying to get high schools and stuff involved in a peace operation program. Because when you think of peace, what's the first things that come to mind when you talk about peace? In a community, why would you, peace-wise, when you're thinking about it, you're thinking that there has to be a war or some conflict are going on. What they want to do is bring students in on a project, but use terminologies and use curriculum that actually talk and enforce the peace ideas, meaning getting some peace programs out there so they understand communicating with people is good. Doing projects with people is good. So when the community's working together, they're not thinking about all the bad things, correct? So there's a program right now. Again, Peter Kyle's brought this, and it's actually with the peace. There's only 8 peace centers in the world. One of them is in the Carolinas, and that's the one he is tagged up with. And it's really neat because if you get to see that video, I'll send Sharon the link for that. Again, there's a lot of information going out about it right now. What's really nice is when the group that they use as when they show the video for us all to understand is really neat because this group assessed their community and they did a food drive. So what do Americans do when we do a food drive? What do we bring? What kind of? Canned goods, right? Everybody brings cans, all that. So they did that. Well, guess what? The pantry stayed full.
They couldn't open them.
The pantries were open, but people were coming in and they weren't taking the canned goods. Does that strike you odd?
They couldn't open them.
No, they did their study just as they were trying to prove through this peace process and the curriculum stuff. So they did an assessment of their community. Most of them are immigrants or, correct, they don't eat canned food. You're right. Why do they not eat canned food? Because when you look at that can, you go, ugh. So what do you think their food drive changed to the next year? Rice and beans, absolutely. You nailed it on the spot. Guess what happened to the food in the pantry?
It went.
Gone, because again, the staple things that you can add to the rice, just adding, the beans and other things to that. So they did their drive and it changed the whole demographics and the whole area of that community. And they focused on that and people are now being fed. And their pantries are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So that's one of the lead projects that they were working on. So it was really neat for them to go through that process and see the big change in the community because now the food pantries were actually feeding the people who were actually coming to the pantries. So, but again, it took them a whole year to figure that out because they did the food drives, they did the pump up, they did all the things at the school and got all the cans and tons, they did by weight and all that, just like they did before. It's just like, what a waste of time. So it was really, really interesting. So the other thing is we got to have some fun while we're along. So I always bring some things with me. So we always just have a little bit of fun. Thank you. While we're doing it. Because again, to have some, he can't just stay still.
Oh, my bad.
That's the whole point. You got to hear him. And again, here, we need one more. We need here the one that, see if she can catch it. Oh, she's got her hands out.
Don't hang up.
But again, if we're thinking of creative things and working with our clubs and getting and making them fun activities, people are going to come. And again, you're right. The key thing too is the speakers, that they're important to something that's going on in the community. Yes, people want to come and hear about it. So if you haven't figured out, I work with junior high and high school students. So you always have to stay on your toes and be ready, and you have to be engaging, because if you talk as long as I've been talking and not do something, it'll be the death of you. Is there?
Yeah, and they would probably take it back. It's my favorite thing to do in the world.
Is it online? I don't know about this one.
The Boy Scouts.
Online either, right?
Still the chicken. Well, I
might have made it up.
I only brought a few of them. I have a pirate one, and he makes a little bit of different noise. It's like, yeah, it's almost like that. And I'm like, how do they get them to do that? But sure enough, but again, these are really great things. You just pull out, and every once in a while, just got to lighten up and have a little bit of fun at your club. Let people understand that, yes, there are important times, and we are doing things like hunger. We are doing all those crucial things, and that's what RI understands. If you haven't paid attention to RI, and when you look at their legislation that happens every 3 to 5 years when they meet in Chicago and look at those things and change the rules, just like the things we're finding out, they know where the power is. Power right here at the local club. It would be nothing without the local club and all the service projects and the things you're doing. So keep doing those things, because all that adds up. And as you know, RI is paying attention to those things, because it gets back to them in your service reports and the things you're turning back into them, that we get the count towards, all the projects worldwide that Rotary is actually doing. It is true. Membership, we have got to stay on top of membership, and we have got to figure out how to get younger people, more diverse, into our clubs. and get those people at the table, and because again, it's only good for all of us. That it keeps us all, especially when a rubber chicken's flying around. It's interesting because, as you can imagine, there's the age in here is not so bad. There's a couple I've been to. When I pull that chicken out, the first thing you see their faces like, dear Lord, where did they find this food? Because, you know, tradition to some of the clubs are very, you know, they hold that to highest esteem. And unfortunately, what they don't realize is going to be their downfall. There is good to have tradition, but you've got to change some things so people can see that and come in. Because like when I first started, this is what Rotarians looked like. We went to war. We had all these medals on. I'm like, what in the world am I getting myself into? And a lot of times we don't do this anymore. Most of the time when I come back to the club, I don't wear my jacket. This is a themed jacket. They like us to wear it. I try not to put many pins on it, just so it just doesn't look like that. But especially when you go to, if you've ever been to an international conference, when you see some of these other countries, it just all the way down the front of them, it's like, yes, we get it. You give money. We get it. You only needed one pin for that, and I see you have that one. The rest of them can go off. So it's just nice to know that we're grounded, and this right here is what it's about, what we're doing in our local communities that make the biggest difference for Rotary. Thank you. Yeah, somebody tried to keep my rubber chickens last
He counts his chickens. He counts them. He's named them.
That's why I only brought 2. Keep track of 2 of them.
This is what happens if you leave.
Yeah.
So that's funny that you spoke so much about membership today, because I put on the bottom of mine, challenge our team to invite, because today, right before I came, I made a couple phone calls and I invited a couple people that I've been thinking about that would just be such a great asset to our club. We would have fun together. So I challenge everybody in this room, just invite one person in the next week to a meeting. Doesn't have to say join our Rotary Club, but just
Right.
Hey, come join us at Perkins at noon. I love that. Coop, you were wonderful and the first presenter to actually speak in your time, and we still have like 3 minutes to spare, so that's awesome. We appreciate it. Do we have any questions for Coop while he's here?
It's good. I see familiar faces. I've come a couple of times, and I remember seeing some people's faces when I came with Sean. So, and Dan's going to do the same thing, the district governor-elect. So,
we're very fortunate here. We have been meeting this whole time.
Absolutely.
There was about a month, I think,
Yep.
a month or 6 weeks that we weren't unable to meet, but it's like each week we're coming back stronger. So
Yeah.
we're very blessed.
some people
Fortunate to be.
stopped, and it's been very hard to get it going.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say have a great day.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see. Yes, Linda.
I just have one thing, and I don't mean to embarrass anyone, but you had talked about service in the local community. Hi, Dorothy. We missed you. And I just wanted to say that last night at the city council meeting, that our own Tom Cook was honored by them for his service in the community and throughout this whole COVID mess. And I've been around Tom as a volunteer at some places. He's done an awesome job, and he does so much for the community, and we're very blessed to have him.
Thank you so much for saying that, Linda. You really are. All right, and I just have to say happy belated birthday to Mike.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, everybody have a great day. Thank you. Thanks, Linda, for bringing that up. Definitely noteworthy. And it's worth it.
No, I heard him.
That's good service.
He's a good guy.
Dorothy, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.